think we live. We live, bro.
We live. We
Pop
popping.
up. We back. We back.
Back with it.
Shout out to I know we're late. We always late, but it's freaking 1,000 degrees. But shout out to everybody that's not here yet. Everybody that will be in the chat. Yeah, man. So let's yeah, we can wait till you start or two. Let me going to pop up. Yeah. Poetic justice.
Let's get it rolling. We getting a little bit of traction. What's popping? Everybody that's jumping in.
Everybody's jumping in. Shout out everybody jumping in. Yeah, all right, let's get talking about it. I didn't want to start out too crazy, but we'll ease into it. So let's talk about it, bro. I don't think we haven't even been on since this whole thing started, right? Like we haven't done a live since.
Yeah, we haven't really touched it. We haven't really touched on it.
Well, no, we talked about the Future and Metro album, right? I think we did. No, I think we did.
Remember, did we? Future,
and I think we mentioned we.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. We talked about like that, the original song. All right, so obviously, as everybody knows, we're now fully thrown into beef with Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And obviously in the past couple of days, this thing has freaking exploded. Like this is all everybody's talking about. It's on CNN. It's on. I was on HBO Max the other day, and this shit popped up. I'm like, yo, what does this even have to do with HBO Max? Like,
doing ads for beef. That's crazy.
Yeah, like, bro, ads for beef. Like, and that's we're gonna talk about every aspect of this and like how it's crazy, and even the ways that it's been a positive for both sides and how it's been a negative for both sides. So first off, like, did you see it going this far? Like, I know when we last spoke, it was the situation where I believe that that Future and Metro kind of, interestingly enough, they kind of spearheaded this entire thing, and they're kind of like on the sidelines now. But so Future and Metro started this thing with that song on Future and Metro's album, which obviously had the verse from Kendrick, which was considered a diss track or a diss verse. And what's crazy is, like, me personally, I don't know if I mentioned this when we talked about it the first time, but I didn't even really see that verse as like super aggressive or initiating beef. You know what I'm saying? Like
that verse?
Right. Yeah, the Kendrick's verse. Right. Because I feel like it to me, it felt more like he, in a very aggressive way, was just trying to make it very clear he does not want anything to do with like being grouped with artists, particularly like J. Cole and Drake. And obviously he said that in a very aggressive way. It's not like he was being polite, but it certainly wasn't nowhere near the recent material that has came out. You know what I'm saying? So I, in a lot of ways, I feel like the beef, even from that verse on the Like That song, was kind of hyped and kind of like maneuvered into being this and manipulated into being this big thing where people obviously pressure Drake to respond. And and I feel like obviously Drake, how he is and what's his status as an artist, and his ego, and also obviously his reputation, like, you know what I mean? Because the last person Drake really beefed with like that was Meek Mill, and Meek Mill, for whatever reason, wasn't anywhere near prepared to go to the lengths that Kendrick Lamar is going.
That's crazy. Actually, wasn't it Pusha T who was the last one, or was it Meek Mill?
No, Pusha T too. Pusha T was to be honest, yeah, you're right. Pusha T was the last one. So it was Pusha T's most recent, and of course before that it was him and Meek Mill. And what's funny is, like you were just kind of starting to say, is that both Pusha T and Meek Mill are technically more street dudes or thugs compared to Kendrick Lamar. And if you compare it to what Kendrick is doing right now, they took it easy on Drake, which I don't know why anyone was afraid to cross that line. Yeah, I don't know why, but they took it easy on Drake, and I don't know why they were afraid to cross that line, but clearly Kendrick is not. So first off, I didn't even get to finish asking you, like, did you see did you see it going this far? Yeah, go ahead, say whatever you want to say, but just did you see it going this far?
Not at first, not after the Like That record. Like That record, I figured maybe Drake was gonna come back with a sneak diss like he always do, or just something subtle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then once I noticed like the internet was hyping it, when I noticed that it was gonna be some real deal stuff, is when J. Cole actually backed down. Like he said, "All right, yeah, I'm not with it." When I seen that, I was like, "Oh, this seems like it's beyond just rap, just like music beef. It's beyond music. This is like some real,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Because when you hear that first, you're like, oh, you know, Kendrick Lamar, he's just doing some control stuff, like he just wants to be known as a great rapper.
Yeah."
And
then, I felt like it was like that. Like he was just trying to make a point. Like, look, I'm me by myself. I think that's like you said, Control was kind of the vibe I was getting from that first song. But that should,
yeah, exactly. But I changed my mind on that when I seen J. Cole was like, hey, nah, you know what, Kendrick Lamar, you good, we cool. I don't want no parts. Then I was like, oh, yo, there might be some.
But okay, why do you think he did that? Why do you think J. Cole did that?
I think he did that because he knows that there was some real animosity. Because J. Cole was coming on some like rapper stuff. You know what I'm saying? I honestly believe that there's some real animosity between Kendrick and Drake behind the scenes, to where Kendrick really don't fuck with Drake. You know what I'm saying? He don't like him at all. I don't know if something happened. I don't know what it is, but
it seems like a lot of them don't, because it seems like for a while, I don't know what Drake did to Future. I don't know what he did to Metro Boomin, which Metro Boomin claims whatever it is, he can't bring it up, or Drake don't want him to bring it up. I know he did the A$AP Rocky as far as disrespected him and Rihanna's relationship on that one song. But it seemed like when Future and Metro was making this album, they was like, look, we about to put it together, the Avengers, and go against Homeboy. Like, it's time. Anybody who got a problem with him, like, come, we gonna build the road for this. Come see me, because we gonna get it popping. And which is crazy, because like we were just saying, J. Cole was really the first person who responded to Kendrick. He put out that song and almost immediately retracted it from the internet, because he was like, nah, bro. And you know what I think? Like, I don't want no parts of this shit. Yeah, I agree with you that he obviously saw like, oh, this is gonna be much deeper than just rap. And maybe that influenced him to pull out. But I feel like also after he dropped that first Kendrick diss on that little EP or mixtape, whatever he dropped, I feel like either Kendrick or Kendrick's team, like people, because you know they got mutual friends. Because even coincidentally, Ab-Soul, who's obviously part of TDE, is on that same album where J. Cole disses Kendrick. So I feel like either Kendrick himself or people was like, bro, don't start this. Don't.
I'm pretty sure Kendrick called him and be like, hey, you don't, like this ain't rap. Like,
like nigga, don't. Like, this ain't about.
Let's not even get into this, bro. Like, he probably, because I was telling people when that song came out, when Like That came out, and I heard him say something about J. Cole or whatever, like just like something towards him, I feel like it was more of a stray. Like he just caught a mean stray, right? And J. Cole probably was like, "Oh, like I feel like J. Cole. I feel like it was a stray. It wasn't not necessarily directed to him, but he was like in the line of fire, so he just had to get it too, because he was on the record.
He's touring. Yeah, he's touring with Drake. He's literally touring with Drake.
He's touring with Drake, and he's on that record. So he caught that stray, and then just like Kendrick said in his song, he's like, and Cole and Aubrey know I'm a selfish nigga. The crown is heavy. I pray they my real friends. If not, I'm YNW Melly. Like he probably was really
I remember he said
testing J. Cole out to see if yo, what's up here? Like, who are you like siding with that nigga? Like, are you?
And that's the thing. I feel like exactly. Because I feel like as far as Kendrick and J. Cole, there at least, I don't know if there still is, but I believe there was some sort of friendship or like coolness. You know what I'm saying? At some part,
I think there is,
or respect.
Think there is.
Yeah, and I think Kendrick's problem with J. Cole now, why he, like you said, had to catch that stray, is because like you said, that song, he's touring with Drake, and I think Kendrick's starting to say like, oh, you really mess with this nigga, like he's really your man's, like, oh, you know what I'm saying, okay. And I feel, and we don't know this, but I'm sure Kendrick and J. Cole have, and he says a line in this new song where he says something like Cole knows or Cole should know better or something like that. And
he said, be honest, you did Cole dirty. He's talking to
yes,
Drake.
Right.
Be honest, you did Cole dirty.
Yeah, right. And so I feel like he's in a way he's just maybe for all we know, him and Kendrick and J. Cole could possibly have had conversations where J. Cole probably even agreed with Kendrick on some shit about this nigga, like, oh yeah, he's this, he's that.
Yeah.
So for Kendrick to now see J. Cole kind of turn face and go, do all the stuff with him, he's probably like, oh, now, yeah, I can't even be associated with either one of these niggas. Like, so that was the first. But let's real quick, because I just pulled up a timeline of the songs, because I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. The first couple, minus the one you talking about, the one you just mentioned, where he said mentions the YNW Melly line.
Yeah. Minus
that one. Before this last track, I honestly didn't like any of Kendrick's disses. I honestly thought it was kind of like mediocre. You get what I'm saying? No, I didn't, honestly, because I've heard what was the one when he says YNW Melly is family, is meet the what is meet? I don't even
Euphoria.
Even the titles is confusing me. Euphoria. So the one I did not like was Euphoria, right? So I liked Euphoria, and I like the new one, the You Not Like Us. Obviously, the whole fucking world loves that one. But the one Meet the Grams, I guess was his one. That one I didn't like. I thought that one was like weak and corny. And then he had the other one, which I think the one that came right before
616.
Not Like Us, or he's
16.
I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling that shit either. So I was like, I don't know, man. I was like, and off rip, as much as I didn't believe in or really care about Drake's lyrical capabilities to go against Kendrick, because I don't care. You can say whatever you want. It is a known fact by anybody that Kendrick Lamar is a better lyricist than Drake. We've been saying that. Drake, I feel himself, has said that at some point back in the day when Kendrick first came out. Everybody knows that. Now, does that mean that Kendrick's career as far as being a pop musician is anywhere near Drake's? No. The one where he spoke to his kids, I couldn't finish. I don't know which one was that. Was that
that's Meet the Grams.
Meet the Grams. Yeah, I wouldn't even. Yeah, that's the one when he starts talking. He's like, "Oh, Aubrey, I'm sorry, your father." Oh yeah, I wasn't really feeling like that one. That one was like one of them. Like I wasn't feeling that.
I feel like that one was more of like just a warfare thing, like because you see when Drake dropped, some mental warfare thing, because when Drake dropped the Family Matters, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
That shit dropped like 5-10 minutes after. I was like holding my phone up here listening to Family Matters.
Let's get into
my
that
screen and I see this nigga drop. I'm like, oh shit.
Let's get into that, because that whole shit, that whole day blew my freaking mind, because I like you said, that I don't remember when because like I said, all this is like out of order in my mind, which is why I looked it up coincidentally. But the one that Drake made the video for, where he like shows the Good Kid, Mad City van, and Pharrell, the dude, the Mexican, which one is that's Family Matters, right? That's right?
Family Matters,
right?
Yeah.
So when that dropped, when I heard that, I was like, oh no, Drake might have it here. You know what I'm saying? I was like, because that one was kind of, I was like, Drake might have it.
It was hard. I can't count. It was hard.
It was hard. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the same day where they was like, because nigga, I'm like sleeping, waking up, doing stuff, and every time I had to keep looking, I'm like, yo, this can't be this gotta be the same song. And I look, I'm like, it's a whole new song. Like, are they just it seemed, it was really, really crazy. What people, especially Kendrick fans, are saying is like, bro, you get an album or 10 songs out of this man every 4 or 5 years. This nigga dropped a whole album worth of Drake disses in like 3 days. So clearly he has it in him to do this. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, like I was saying, I don't think the other ones are that great. I think maybe the first one Kendrick had dropped was good, but then like I said, I wasn't really feeling them. And then out of nowhere, and you know how sometimes with a rap song, you can tell by the cover art that it's gonna be hard. Mm-hmm. And I saw that cover art, and I was like, I don't even know what this is, but it looks like it's gonna be friggin' hard. And I was like,
bold, I'm gonna make a bold claim. This Not Like Us might be the absolute best diss track ever.
now I ain't gonna, and that's another thing I was gonna talk about. We could debate that because I was thinking about it, and for me, I still don't think, I honestly think it's better than anything Jay-Z did against Nas. I can't say it's beating Ether, but then again, you could say Ether is kind of like overkill. Like it's kind of just like stomping a nigga into the dirt when he already like dead. But
yeah,
I don't even think this new Kendrick run, I don't even think it for me, as far as strategy and effort and what you're doing, I don't think it beats Piggy Bank. Because you got to remember on Piggy Bank, 50 Cent assassinated like 6 niggas in one song, like who some of which wasn't even really beefing with him, but he just because they was standing next to Ja Rule, he assassinated, like, because even when I listened to Piggy Bank maybe like a week ago, and I was like, did your camera die? Oh, I think EJ went out. All right, we got technical difficulties. We're gonna see what's going on. Are you back? Yo. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, the camera died. Give it a second. I'm gonna let it. It didn't die. It just. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Just fine.
All right. All right, we can go for now. I'm gonna switch the battery in a second.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like I was saying though, like I listened to Piggy Bank even like a week ago, and I was like, "Yo, this holds up till today." You get what I'm saying? Like it's
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's funny, it's strategic.
But what I do want to say with what I mean with Kendrick's, right? Kendrick's diss, like the reason I think is one of the greatest all time is also because of the time frame that we're in, right? Because of social media. Like the day when he dropped that, bro, people was making dumb videos. It wasn't like you could see people in the club, like, around the time when all them other ones came out, like Piggy Bank, like, you know, it wasn't that time, so we didn't see. We didn't really visualize it happening. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to like really witness it, like you're in the club, and we weren't in the club at that time when we was like 11,
right?
10, 11. I don't remember exactly the age, but this one, everybody you seeing people saying "Oh, be home" in the club, like it just hit that much different. Like imagine being Drake watching all these niggas on video talking about some certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Come on, son. That it just hits harder, and I guess because of social media. I don't know. That could be it because of social media.
Before we even let me bring up some of the lyrics of this song. Bro, I don't listen to this. I got to be responsible for at least half the streams on this damn song. The amount of
nah, son.
And
nah, son.
And my thing is like, bro, like one of the reasons, like kind of attributing to what you're saying of why it's probably the best diss track of our generation, like modern times, is there's so much like quotable lines and shit where you're like, oh, did he just say that, bro?
Yeah.
Before we even get to that last verse where he literally breaks down Drake's how he's trying to be part of all these cultures and rappers that he ain't really part of. By the time he even gets to the A minor line, I was like, you know that meme with Mr. Krabs when he's like, bro, if there was any possible way that I could pay money, because you know every time a diss song comes out, you're like, damn, I wish I could see the look on that rapper's face the first time he heard it. You know what I'm saying? Like when he had to hear it. Bro, you don't know what I would give to see Drake's face the first time him, especially if he was sitting in the room with his peoples, the first time they heard They Not Like Us, man. He had to have been like, fuck, like this shit. This ain't good, bro.
Especially watching.
This is not good.
Especially scrolling down Instagram or TikTok, and just every video is you hear the beat every single time. Bro, you know how that gotta feel, bro?
Bro. God, homie said, they tell me Chubb's the only one that gets your hand-me-downs. And obviously we all know who Chubbs is. And party next door. Party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Oh, geez. Certified lover boy? Certified
lover boy, certified pedophile.
Wop. And it's like, don't stop. It literally felt like somebody was just wop. Like
punching him just
that, like, bro. bro. Nigga said, you think that Bay gonna let you disrespect Pop, nigga? I think that Oakland spot gonna be your last stop, nigga. I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop, nigga, bro. And the thing is, like, why this is so effective, because unlike the other songs where I think they both were just like, they was taking things that we don't necessarily know is true or not and trying to use it to defamate each other's character. With this one, Kendrick was like, all right, I'm gonna take things that people have already been, like, things people have already said about you or has hinted about you, or that we don't speak on, and I'm gonna just drill it. I'm gonna just drill it into the ground.
Yeah.
And for me, that's why this nigga is winning right now, because he finally decided to take the step that for some reason everybody was afraid to take with Drake. You get what I'm saying? Like, he took the step, because none of this, mind you, none of this that's in the subject matter of what Kendrick is talking about is new. These are all subjects that people have either, like, things have been caught up in the media and got, or brought up in the media and got hushed up, or things that we straight up know and saw ourselves. But you know, Drake has what I like to call Prince Charming effect, right? Where because you're Prince Charming, and it's not just Drake. We all maybe went to school, had class with somebody. Maybe he was the athlete, the football player, or the basketball player, whatever, where they just had that Prince Charming effect. This nigga don't never get in trouble. Everything he does is overlooked. Even the bad, terribly negative things, even the illegal, possibly illegal things are overlooked. People don't speak on it. People will even go as far as to help the Prince Charming person disrespect other people when really they themselves are being hypocritical. So it's this whole effect that I think has been going on for a long time with Drake. And again, I don't know what he did to these rappers that decided to form the Avengers against him, but clearly someone decided it was time. And I don't know, bro. I think it's like, no matter win, lose, or draw, whatever you want to say about Kendrick and anybody else who's dissing him, it sucks to say, but it feels good to see somebody finally go against, like, Goliath. You get what I'm saying? Like, someone finally picked up the stone.
I feel like
Go ahead.
Got it. Yeah, I feel like with Kendrick, he said in the song, he's like, you know, you're the one who likes being famous. Kendrick don't really care too much about it.
Yeah, you don't even like.
So he's not afraid to take those leaps. Somebody like Meek Mill probably wouldn't, because he's like, like Drake's signed to this person and got a Nike deal. I'm gonna lose my possibility to get Nike deals, so he probably ain't take it as far. Kendrick seemed like he really don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna take it. He's gonna take it wherever it needs to be taken. You know, and I've been telling people, like, somebody like Drake being in the industry so long and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the type of person he is, especially you hear him sneak dissing everybody on his songs. It's like, you can tell he's not that good of a person. Like, he's not that cool.
Exactly.
Person, you know what I'm saying?
He's not. Deep down inside, he is not.
I'm pretty sure he's done a lot of dirty stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I can really understand. I've spoken to somebody else, and we know people that's like Drake. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I was saying everybody knows a Drake. Everybody knows somebody that is like Drake. You know what I'm saying? And I think even that, maybe that's why some people, they ignore it, because they're like, oh, Drake reminds me of whoever. But it's like, he's not. I don't think he's a good person, bro. And it's just strange to me that it's like people.
Yeah, and then knowing.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, I was gonna say knowing Drake's past, like, he's technically a child actor, right? Knowing where he's came from, and then he comes over here and he's pretty much, like he said, a colonizer. He's stealing the culture. He's like pretty much a wannabe, the easiest way to say it, and like just cosplaying, and he's really like digging deep into the cosplay. So even though he's cosplaying, he's still doing some of the stuff, the dirty stuff. Even though he's cosplaying, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody, like, we know your heart, nigga. Like, we know where you came from. We know you're a child actor. We watched you on Degrassi growing up. You know what I'm saying?
And then, but in that sense, that is where, interestingly enough, that is the only aspect of it why I don't blame Drake, right? Because Drake, particularly if you, like you said, because it's another thing, I'm convinced a lot of Drake's fans who are big, super duper major Drake fans they did not watch Degrassi. They didn't watch that show because they didn't watch shows like that back in them times. Yeah. So they didn't see him. They didn't see how he was acting on that show or how he was acting in the behind the scenes. I watched Degrassi religiously. It was like I lived by that show at one point in my life. You know what I'm saying? I damn near wanted to move to Canada to be on it. And and again, you didn't just see these kids. Obviously, they're playing characters on a show, but obviously after the show, sometimes before the show, between the show, you would see they would go to their homes and interview and stuff. Drake has been a bitch since then. I remember from then. When I was a kid. I remember he was not rapping at this time. There was no Young Money, no Lil Wayne, nothing. I remember from then, I was a kid looking at this nigga and be like, yo, as the nigga that is the black representation in the show, he is a bitch. Like that, I remember thinking that from then. So
imagine,
I feel like everybody.
I guarantee you, ask Kendrick, did he watch Degrassi when he was younger? He's gonna be like, yeah.
Yes, I saw a few episodes. You know what I'm saying?
Still a bitch.
and again, ain't nothing wrong with being a bitch if that's what you is. But it's the thing is like,
yeah.
Because even like, and so glad you brought this up, is like the background. And I've been talking about people, you know, in the comments and stuff that have been, you know, on both sides of this. Even with background, there are people now literally trying to argue that Drake somehow, even before this, had like gang ties or he was a gangster in some type of way. I'm like, bro, any connection to gangs, killers, murderers, drugs, or anything like that Drake has right now is that he has gotten it through his fame and his money that he obviously got in the past 15 years. That now, again, Kendrick Lamar is not no gangster. I don't think he has ever portrayed to be no gangster. He don't walk around promoting guns. Talking about good. If the Good Kid, Mad City was him describing and setting up a visual representation of people of where he grew up. And we all know about that area. We don't even got to say the name of his neighborhood. And everybody knows where he came up and how they are out there. You know what I'm saying? Me and you done been out there and had to like roll up our window on niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like we know this. So to know someone came from that kind of background and Drake, who's from the complete opposite, is like, bro, y'all are really trying to act like Drake is a genuine person. If we're talking about comparison to who's true to where they came from and how they was brought up, like, you get what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. Like, so people like Kendrick who experienced that and seeing this thing, you can call out the real from the fake. You can call out people who's just like just faking, cosplaying, and people who are really, you know what I'm saying? Like, not even just gangster are about it, but people who been in these kind of situations before or even experienced it. You know what I mean? You can really tell the difference. Like I said, I've been around, you know what I'm saying, both kinds of people. The people who've experienced these things and the people who are cosplaying. And it's like you can tell the difference.
And the crazy thing about the cosplay is like, you don't have to do that. And that's, I think, what angers people like Kendrick about it is like, you, especially Drake, you don't have to do this. You're choosing to. And like he broke down with the Atlanta thing with all these Atlanta rappers and Southern rappers that he tries to like, pause, but suck their like energy out of. I don't know. Like, you know what that nigga like, you know, in Space Jam, when the Monstars put all of the NBA athletes, like their aura and their skill into the ball, and they put I feel like that is like Drake, like what he does. Like he has some type of basketball shit. He goes around and is like, touch the ball. And then he goes home and he's just like, and then just regurgitates what he like. But so when you look at it like that,
go ahead. That one verse, the part of the verse in Not Like Us where Kendrick breaks it down, I feel like this was the realest part of the beef. You know what I'm saying? Like when he broke it down where he's like, you went to Future and
the real nigga challenge.
You know what I'm saying? The real nigga challenge, pretty much. That was the realest part of the beef, bro, because that was complete truth. He broke it down in a fire way, and it's like,
and he did.
Everybody
he
knows
break
this.
it down. Other than people that's choosing to ignore it.
Why? And I don't understand how you can ignore that. Everybody knows this. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get Drake back to Drake with the melodies. You know what I'm saying? Tough Guy Drake was cool for like 1 minute. I got over Tough Guy Drake.
He took it too far. And this is what I was saying. I do not blame Drake for it because it was he took it too far, but everyone allowed him to take it this far. You know what's and this is why I say even that, like you were talking about the last part of that verse where he brings, and I love that Kendrick literally said these niggas' names. He said 2 Chainz, Young Thug, Quavo, all these niggas that for some reason helped give Drake this path. Because even the way Young Thug be acting like Drake and him came up in Atlanta shooting people together. Like, niggas, you crazy? And I don't know what Drake does to these dudes. Like, when they come into the rap game, when he meets them, I don't know if he sits them down and gives them some briefcase full of money, or he just is super hospital to them. I don't know. But it's like, what is in y'all's head to help feed this nigga's brain that he's some real nigga? You get what I'm saying? Like, and all those rappers play a part because they all help this nigga think this. All him.
Yeah.
And then he does the same thing even outside of Atlanta and American culture. When he wants to be Spanish Drake, he go be around Bad Bunny and them type of dudes. When he wants to be Jamaican Drake, he's always with Popcorn in Jamaica acting like he's Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? When he wants to be African Drake, he with all the African dudes like Burna Boy and all. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, pick your fucking culture and stay to it, dog. Like, you are a full-blown Jew. You are a Jewish man. Embrace that. You should be rapping with what's his name? What's buddy that we was hanging out with? Dreidel, the Dreidel nigga. You should be hitting him up for a verse.
BLP Kosher.
BLP Kosher.
Yeah, why you doing him verse with BLP Kosher from now? He should have been had a verse with BLP Kosher.
Because everybody else that was black, when they got to BLP Kosher's level, he went and remixed a song or tried to do something with them. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's true.
Why are you ignoring the actual Jewish kid who's coming up and rapping? Very weird. But yeah, and it was so crazy that, like you said, when he broke that down in that part of the song, because it's like, for years and years, like you said, people like me, people like you who have seen it and realized that is what Drake was doing. But I never thought anybody could articulate it in a song. I did not think that, especially in a catchy song. Like, I'm like, niggas could probably say that, but niggas don't be caring when people say things. But how this man actually broke it down in a catchy song with a hard beat, that you could play it in a club, you could play it in a car, you could play it in your headphones,
and everywhere. And the craziest thing, like I said this, but somebody had some rebuttals on it. But I'm still standing on this. It's crazy how this is Kendrick's, I believe, his first actual smash hit club song. People will say,
you saw
Humble.
Every song started.
I don't think Humble went as hard as this.
No.
Good.
No, especially not. Because remember, like you said, by the same night, niggas was in the club was bumping to this in the club, knowing every word. Yeah. Humble, that wasn't Humble. This is the quickest Eddie Kendrick Lamar song has gotten to like mainstream popularity.
So this might be his best ever smash hit from this situation. And that's wild, man. And also, I think it's dope how people are going back to his last album. And I want to say this real quick. Like, his last album, I believe, is one of his best. People are saying, somebody said
I would say Good Kid is better. I would say only Good Good Kid is better. Yeah. Because that's when I say it's better.
I could argue with Good Kid, Mad City, but I really like I don't know. I guess resonate more with this last one that he had. It's like, I guess it's just more of a mature thing. You know what I'm saying?
Boom. And that's exactly what I was going to say.
Album, I want to say.
Because, and that is why, to me, yes, Drake is a huge pop artist. That is, no one is denying that. Maybe you could even say the biggest pop artist in the world. But to me, Kendrick is a real, like, for the actual people, real artist, because like you just said, when you listen to this new album, Mr. Morale, or the most recent album, you can hear the growth, bro. You can hear how he has become mature as an adult. And he's even telling you in the songs, like, the Kendrick that's from that my mindset and the things I was even passionate about back then, whole different thing. Now I have a family to take care of. I got businesses. I got a label. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much things that you can see this how he grew. And he's able to reflect it in his music for his fans. Drake's still making the same kind of music he was making when we was in 10th grade.
He's stuck in high school. It's like you see like your high school, the niggas from your high school still posted up in clubs doing the same stuff that it was doing right when they graduated high school. It's like, come on, bro.
And you almost feel shame on yourself for even knowing them niggas or for ever even been hanging out with them. You're like, bro. Because I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Even with this last, because is it his last? Well, I know the album with 21, but before the album with 21 was the Certified Lover Boy thing, right?
Certified Lover Boy, yeah.
Even when that was coming out and it was about to drop, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this is the album that Drake is like really like, you know, comes on some mature. I'm an adult trying to like really put out my art kind of thing. And then I seen the cover, and I'm like, nah, he's still playing. He's still just fucking around. You get what I'm saying? Because even with him, it's like everything is like a joke or a reference to how much girls love him or how much women he can get pregnant or what girl he had sex with first and what girl was in love with him first and how he mentions like how he used to date SZA. And I'm like, what do you take so much pride in these weird high school things? And then you're like, A minor, A fucking minor. That is why. The whole thing starts to make sense.
Damn.
I'm like, bro, the whole thing with the whole high school mentality and the way he likes high school girls and all. I'm like, bro, all of this is making sense, bro. The man is stuck in some sort of arrested development.
Sierra Canyon parking lot looking like a Magic City parking lot is crazy.
Bro.
Said that in the song.
Like, what? That is a high school, sir.
Oh my gosh.
And then speaking of which, how do you say that? Speaking of which, after all of this goes down, and Kendrick says in this song all this stuff about him being a pedo and all this stuff, Drake's response is not, no, I'm not a pedo. That's disgusting. Young children are disgusting. I'll never be caught with a young woman. That's disgusting. I like my woman 21 and up only. That's gross. Instead of saying that, Drake gets on wax and on his computer and writes, I don't date young. If I was having sex with young girls, I'd have been arrested. Nigga.
Yeah. I'm too famous for that. He's niggas like, I'm too famous for that.
That is like the neighborhood dope boy who everybody knows you so dope, being like, nigga, I don't sell dope. If I sold dope, I'd be in prison, right? Nigga, if you was in prison, you wouldn't be able to sell the dope. That's how we know you're selling the dope. You can't use not being in prison as the reason you're not doing something. That just means you have not been caught legally yet. And that's what I thought. As soon as Kendrick brought this up, I'm like, oh, Drake, him and his PRs and everybody, they're immediately gonna say like, oh, this is crazy. There's no. Drake's response is, I'm not having sex with young girls because if I was, I'd be in jail. Like, no, Drake, that's not how that works. that's
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
on Twitter after that, you know, how R. Kelly's like, hog tie people. I don't know how to hog tie people. You see that?
Yeah. And then he started like, giving, bro, that's what he's giving. Like when you look at R. Kelly's demeanor in that interview, he's like, and he starts like, I don't know how to hog tie people. Like, nigga, you think this is about hog ties? You think hog ties is? And you think that we're gonna believe? You think we're gonna believe that you're not into the things you're being accused of because you allegedly don't know how to hog tie somebody?
Oh my god!
Like, yo, this is all crazy. And then and everything starts to kind of like make sense when you see like how certain people, specifically the more Kendrick kind of people in the industry, don't really, even if they're not beefing with Drake, they don't really rate him or hang out with him. You know what I'm saying? They don't really chill with him. And then you got the Diddy's.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait, but there's that time when Diddy and Drake got into some argument about something outside of a club, and Diddy ended up slapping him, and no one knows what this argument was about. And then you're like, man, a lot of this ain't looking good. A lot of things is like starting to align, and you're like,
suspect, yeah.
Oh, but again, a part of the reason, if any of these allegations or anything is true, a part of the reason why these guys are able to do this and get away with it is because of their influence and their money and their popularity. And, you know, again, we as a society and as a culture have a little bit to do with that. The first time I heard Drake was in 9th grade when Drake had this song that came out long. I think it came out even before Best I Ever Had. And it was called like Brand New. It's like, is anything I'm doing brand new or something like that? Like, I think that was his first, right? And I remember hearing the song a couple of times. Remember back then, like you said, we didn't have all this like social media and stuff. So the way you heard shit was people saying like, oh, this song is hot, or you hearing it on the radio or in the club. That was the only way. We didn't even, Instagram was like nothing at that time. And I remember at school, somebody come and playing me the song, and I'm like, oh yeah, I heard the song a couple of times. It's hard. Who sings this? And they were like, Drake. And I did not know that he didn't call himself Drake on Degrassi. He called himself Aubrey Graham. So I didn't know this nigga has no Drake. And I'm like, oh, Drake. in my head, I'm predicting like maybe some R&B nigga, like some like dark skin R&B nigga or something. And then roll into the Young Money times when they started making like what were them songs? Like I forgot. What was they called? You know songs I'm talking about.
Yeah,
the I Can Make It, the Bedrock. Yeah, the bed. I Can Make Your Bedrock.
Yeah.
And MTV at the time had, if you used to watch MTV at the time, you used to have MTV Spring Break and Spring Bling. Yeah. And them niggas would come out. Yeah. And I'm home watching Spring Bling and Young Money's on stage. And out comes Wheelchair Jimmy from the, and I'm like,
Wheelchair Jimmy. Yeah, I was mind blown.
I'm like, Jimmy is Drake?
Expression.
I'm like, bro, my mind was blown. But even then, he wasn't, I don't think, especially not then, other than his direct ties to Lil Wayne, he wasn't trying to be no gangster. He didn't talk about, like, he was mostly talking about girls and love and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
I remember the first time where I was like, yo, what's this? What's he doing? Like, why is he speaking like this? It's the song where Headlines. Like, they're gonna make your body right now. And I was like, hold on.
What? Drake?
You say
Drake?
What?
Like Drake? Like Soulja Boy, Drake? Drake gonna catch a body? I was like, oh.
Bro, I remember really being dumbfounded with him saying it. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And then he doubled down on which track was it?
I know, like by the time he got to start it from the bottom.
Yeah.
By the time you got to start it from the bottom, now we hear it was like, by that point, all right, Drake, you need to chill. Because I don't know what you consider the bottom.
Yeah. So that when I heard that, I was like, all right, it seemed like he's gonna go hard with this. Like all right.
He's gonna pivot.
He's gonna like keep yeah, he made a pivot. He's pivoting. All right, cool.
He's like, I'm gonna go this way.
And then another the angle where I was like, all right, bro's doing too much is on Views. Mob Ties. When I heard Mob Ties.
By Views, he was full blown.
Yeah. I was like, this is hard, but you're doing a little too much, buddy. You're doing too much. And after Mob Ties, he just went full blown hood nigga. You know what I'm saying?
And again, it's because niggas kept and people like Drake. If there's one thing he's not dumb. He's not stupid. You know what I'm saying? He is not. And I'm 90% sure when he started to do that, and drop all these little gangsterisms and all this little, I'm a shooter, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna get people bodied or whatever. I'm sure he was kind of looking at the niggas, like the real niggas around him, like Young Thug and 2 Chainz, like, they gonna let me get it.
Yeah.
They didn't say nothing. He's like, I'm like, all right, niggas ain't say nothing. Okay. He's like, all righty. Niggas ain't say nothing. He's like, I'm gonna keep going. And again, I don't know what he's doing for people, I don't know what he's doing for people, or like, you know, why these guys love him so much. I do think, like a lot of people in real life, like you mentioned, everybody knows a Drake, and with the Prince Charming effect, I call it the Prince Charming effect for a reason. They're charming people, and I think Drake, he's easily like, there's many people I know in my life, even personally, that I'm like, damn, I wish I could be like you. I wish I had this thing to just like talk and make people like me. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's usually the freaking opposite. By the time I'm usually 3 sentences in, people like, get this nigga to shut up. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird to see people like Drake and be like, you have this effect that people just really gravitate to you and they like you. And like you said, like I always say, at the end of the day, we all got to give Drake his credit, because it's been almost 15 years now that the man has just been going. You know what I'm saying? So he deserves credit for that. And which I think he gets. If anybody gets their flowers, it's Drake, because he's literally Drake. But it's like, why can't we have an attitude where we like still listen to people like Drake and like them and like them and their music and their entertainment and their art, but also understand that maybe they're not the best kind of person? You know what I'm saying? Like he is he just like there's actors. You think every freaking actor, your favorite actor from your favorite movie is probably a a-hole. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I don't think there's, you know, if you're not particularly hurting anyone, like unless he's actually hurting these young girls or doing illegal things, I don't think ain't nothing wrong with it. You're allowed to be however you want to be. That's life. That's why we have freedom. But there's just so much things, like I said, that we even talked about just now that Kendrick pointed out. It's like, man, you're really an interesting dude. Like even the slave thing, Kendrick
Yeah.
put up the thing in the other diss song, the one that I think wasn't good, of like, bro, you're like, you're basically like being racist to black people because how you choose to dip in and out of your blackness depending on how much money is going to make you or what it's going to do for you and your status. And in the next song, he's like, oh, you made music for slaves, huh? Like this is exactly what
sound like you're trying to free the slaves.
Yeah, like
and it's like, this is what we talking about.
Yeah, and it's like you're not even getting it. It's like you're not getting it. You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm thinking, you said out of the two artists, who do you think has had the better career in general, regardless of the beef? Woo, that's such a good question. That's a good question because I just saw niggas on Instagram arguing about this explicitly. And honestly, in my opinion, it would depend on what you consider a career or a successful career. Because Drake, obviously, you'd have to look at the numbers, but I'm pretty sure Drake obviously has more hits and more number ones and stuff, and I'd assume has probably accumulated more money than Kendrick Lamar. So if that's what you consider a successful career, clearly Drake is the winner there. But if I'm not mistaken, Kendrick might have more accolades, or however you say that, than Drake, like as far as the awards, like Grammys, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me. I know Drake has definitely I know Kendrick has performed at the Grammys more than Drake. And I would say as far as it's weird, bro, because even though they're both technically rappers, it's like two completely different cultures, bro. Like Drake's culture of people is people that are like, you know what I'm saying, like the popular music people that want to have a good time. And because like even Mr. Morale, I listened to that the other day. There ain't really no song on there, maybe minus one, that you could really play in the club and be like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. For me, career-wise, I would say Kendrick, because I would prefer to live like Kendrick than Drake.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. So it's a question that depends on what would you want? How would a career be successful for you? Is it numbers and hits and the money? Or is it like, you know what I'm saying, the accolades, even going down to, because he just got a Pulitzer Prize, Kendrick, or something like that. I forgot. He got some award, something like that. And then, you know, Kendrick, and honestly, if we're talking albums, right? I feel like Kendrick albums are more meaningful,
more solid. More solid and meaningful.
Solid and meaningful than Drake albums. You know what I'm saying? But Drake albums probably did way more numbers. So I think it depends on what you would want more out of your career. And me, like you said, I would rather go down the Kendrick path when it comes to a career for music than a Drake path.
Yeah, because
I'll go even like Kendrick as well, because I feel that way.
Yeah, because just like Rachel said here, good answer. I guess Kendrick, since he has more freedom, and like you're pointing out, he in almost every aspect, Kendrick has more freedom, because even with, I'm sure Kendrick owns more of his records, and even his boss. Kendrick's boss is Top Dog, who he basically like grew up with. You know what I'm saying? So Drake's, everybody that got a hand in Drake's pocket, they just get money off him. You know what I'm saying? Because even like PG Lang is slowly becoming a successful, it's not even just a record label. He really is trying to make it like a production company, a creative agency. Kendrick's about to have, from what I saw, he has a movie coming out with the South Park guys. Them niggas don't make movies with nobody but each other. You get what I'm saying? Nobody. They've never made no movies with nobody. And Kendrick Lamar. So again, it's like two different routes, because you could tell even within the industry, there's probably a whole separate group of people that respect Kendrick over respecting Drake. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, for me, it would be Kendrick, bro, because Drake Drake is probably loving his life. It seems his mentality and his mind attitude, how his life is set up, is exactly what this nigga wants. But for me, I couldn't function like that. like I couldn't.
Yeah.
Even Kendrick is a little too famous for me, but I would much rather be on Kendrick's side of things, because you could tell if Kendrick had a show or some people or something to go, Kendrick could probably respectfully be like, guys, I'm not feeling well today. I don't want to do this, or I can't do this. I'll make it up to you. I love my fit, whatever. Drake can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Drake gotta clock in.
Too much people.
Drake gotta clock in. Too much people in his pockets. Drake has
out
to
of
clock
all people,
in.
I'm surprised he made the whole. I'm surprised he made the whole dropping give me 50 joke. Because I mean, out of all people, like you don't even have to look at Drake's contract to know that this man is he's technically a machine. You know what I'm saying?
That's what people were saying.
So
because even this Lucian guy, like I don't know if you saw that interview with Kanye West did where he was like talking about Drake too, and he brought up this Lucian guy that some people didn't even know about. That nigga's basically, like Kanye said, he's basically Drake's pimp.
Yeah. I'm not surprised, bro. 500. What did he get? A $500 million deal with Interscope or Universal? Drake is a machine with huge corporations. Yep.
Yeah. And that's completely different. And I'm not gonna hold you. That's part of why I thought, you know, particularly at first, with the Like That verse that Kendrick did on Metro's song, I thought Drake wasn't even gonna respond to this, bro. I thought Drake was gonna be like, look, I got too much going on to respond to Kung Fu Kenny over some verse that he want to do on Future and Metro's album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
I know that boy wish he had that Raven Simone tell the Future stuff, bro, because as soon as he decided to unload and just respond, everything went downhill, bro. Diss track after diss track, his house getting shot up, his story in England or London.
And then you saw some shit, something happened today too. Some guy broke into his house today. They wrote in London, they wrote on the OVO store, they wrote they not like us. Like, I'm like, yo,
they not like
Kendrick might have really shifted something, bro. He might have really shifted something.
Bro, I've been telling people, I'm like, I feel like Kendrick's Drake is gonna be Ja Ruled out of hip hop. I think because like right now, like I just had seen a post on Twitter, right? Because somebody was talking about the Toronto sound, and I was like, yo, I don't know what Toronto sound. Yeah, that's
what's the Toronto sound.
I was like, in all honesty, this is a genuine question. Please point me to Toronto.
Put a pause on that right here. Put a pause on that right quick, because this needs to be said, because we're gonna put this on the YouTube and all that. There is no Toronto sound. Yeah. I don't care if anybody you from, no disrespect, because I used to know niggas in Toronto. I visited many times when I was a kid, many times. There is no Toronto sound. Y'all biggest artists out of Toronto is Drake, The Weeknd, and Party, and all three of them niggas sound American and sing and rap American. Yeah. There is no Toronto sound. Y'all own people from y'all city. At The Weeknd basically has adopted Los Angeles. He's basically from Los Angeles. Party Next Door is basically Miami. So Drake is everywhere you could point a pin on a map. So there's no Toronto sound, dog.
Yeah.
Maybe remember when we was on the cruise and there was some kid who was like, didn't he say he was like a rapper from Toronto and that there was like some specific although I ain't seen him yet neither. So I don't know what's going on. Like, what is the Toronto sound?
Yeah, bro. So yeah, like I said, I think Drake is gonna get Ja Ruled out of hip hop, and like it's kind of over with for bro. He can probably make them little. He probably will be still floating around the industry, but nobody's messing with him. Like even Toronto's not messing with him. High schoolers and stuff like that. I seen a video of a teacher talking about her high school kids. They used to be a full Drake main high school. Now they're making BBL Drizzy jokes and A minor jokes. Come on, bro.
And that's it's like, yo, like
view on who won the beef. I feel like this is all around Kendrick. Kendrick won the beef. Anybody who says otherwise is kind of just blind to what's going on. I wouldn't understand it. And that's not even biased, bro.
Because honestly, it seems like it's gotten to the point where only like literal like diehard Drake fans are still sticking to it, like he's winning and Kendrick didn't do nothing. Because even some people who like, you know, were either in the middle or even kind of like more affiliated with Drake are like, damn, this nigga Kenny went hard on, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna sit here and act like that last song wasn't what it is, then you're really delusional, bro. Like you're just really trying to live in a delusion that Drake is.
For somebody like Drake. For somebody like Drake, who is a hit maker, and honestly, his whole career, I feel like Drake could just spit out a hit easy, like just like that, banger. For somebody who like Drake,
I don't think not these days. Not these days.
Maybe not, because I was so surprised that he didn't do that. He didn't give us a back-to-back. He didn't push-ups.
What you mean for the diss? For the
any of his disses. He didn't give us.
Like I think the family matters one I think was straight. Yeah, like I think it was hard. Yeah. Like he said, he had some lines in there that I was like,
I thought it was gonna be a flip. Like I thought Drake would have the banger like They Not Like Us. You know what I'm saying? That was gonna be in the clubs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Going crazy in the clubs.
Yeah.
Push-ups was close, but it just wasn't it. Family Matters was hard, but it just wasn't that. Kendrick Lamar coming with Not Like Us, bro, that was a haymaker.
And Drake, he has responded after They Not Like Us just wasn't good, right? He made the song.
Yeah, that's the one he says that that's when he says he's too famous to be a pedophile.
Right. Yeah, and that one ain't nobody really messing with that. So again, I guess now technically the ball is again.
This one was bad.
Kenny's. When I heard he slept with Lil Wayne's girlfriend, I was shook. I mean, y'all did that. Okay, that's another thing I want to talk about real quick. Everybody that's in the chat, even you, like EJ too, like, is there anything in the that Kendrick brought up that y'all didn't know? Because even that, y'all didn't know that y'all don't remember when Wayne was locked up and Wayne for a little bit was fake beefing with Drake too, because they wasn't really messing with each other, and it was because Drake slept with his girlfriend and while he was locked up.
I'm gonna say I remember that happening, but Kendrick bringing it back up kind of like reminded me, oh, this nigga is dirty. Like it kind of was like a reminder because I do remember that, you know what I'm saying?
Which is maybe why I always harbor negative feelings for this nigga, because it's much like Kendrick. I feel like everything he has done in the past, I've like okay, I put it in the back of my mind, like, all right, you did that. Now that was like that wasn't cool, but you know. So I feel like that's a lot of the stuff. But yeah, like, and again, even that, you Lil Wayne, this man Drake slept with your girlfriend while he was in jail. I mean, I ain't gonna trip over no hoe, but you just forgive him. This nigga's he basically your son. You supposed to have some punishment on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoop his ass up. Like, you know what I mean? So Drake victimizes himself a lot.
You gotta remember, you gotta remember that. I mean, Lil Wayne rapped about, it was Tammy Torres, right? Bro, I've been hearing Lil Wayne rapping about Tammy Torres since we was in high school. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this was more than, like he said it hurt. This one actually hurt, but she like, I guess regardless, he still looked at her as like, it's okay. It's just, you know, it's the one female, but I feel like it actually really hurt him. You know what I'm saying? Because he said, that one hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I think at the time, I think Tammy Toe was like his, like, you know how?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, but just somebody to be in your camp, to be your homeboy or whatever, to mess with a girl like that, where you know, like, this dude is your boy, and you know they're together. That's dirty, bro. That's ridiculous. Out of all the girls, you can, you know, Drake, you can get a whole bunch of females, and you choose this one.
And if he did that to Lil Wayne, like, someone who I'd assume he respects a lot. And it's like, bro. And then I guess he got that tattoo, like Kendrick said, to cover it, to apologize. But like, yo, and it's like, and now I'm at the point with it where I'm like, all right, bro. All right, thanks, Drizzy. Appreciate it, bro. See you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Facts. Like last time though, I'm like, what does Drake say now? What can he say now? I don't even know what Kendrick says now.
Kendrick probably has about 5-6 tracks that he can probably drop if he wanted, but it will be. I was saying like They Not Like Us should probably be it. He make a video that They Not Like Us just because that's a smash hit, and
that's what I was gonna say. The next move. Yeah. Oh, look at your camera went on again. Good. I can't hear you.
Yeah, no, I just had to put the mic on the computer. Yeah, the camera died. But yeah, so anything else after that, I think it's overkill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Especially, and it's because, like you said, he a video would do good. If Kendrick just does a really, I don't know what he could do to make it clever, but if he does a really good video, I think that'd be the nail in the coffin for this.
Yeah.
And because it's like, what else, you know? Because another thing that I think is kind of like dying it down and not making it cool is the media. It's like, just like, because even like CBS, I've seen CBS just posted up like a timeline of the history of Drake and Kendrick's. But I was like, man, I don't want CBS telling me this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've like,
like we already getting rid of one colonizer. Come on.
Yeah, like we don't want. Let's keep all the colonizers out. We don't want like y'all, because even on that, it just goes to show you like how Drake, like it's like white privilege even to him is such a thing that no other rapper can get. Because even this, the only reason why some of these new syndicates are even covering this is because it's Drake. Because if it was Kendrick and somebody else, they wouldn't give shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's because it's Drake.
That's facts, bro.
You know. So yeah. So real quick though, let's look. How long we been on? So I don't want to go too quick. Damn, we've been an hour already. All right, let's just like 10, 15 minutes. Outsiders. So we didn't see a couple outsiders have things to say, and it seems like the outsiders are either being completely ignored or they're just. So Rick Ross had problems with Drake and Birdman and for a long time. And he's always had no problem voicing them. But he's been trying to like throw shots in. Future and Metro have been throwing shots. A$AP Rocky did the verse on that second album where he said a couple hard things too. And the Game also has been trying to throw himself in this, like he tries to throw himself in everything. I don't know why.
The Game seemed like he's trying to back Drake up. I can't tell.
Yeah. I don't know why, because I don't remember. I don't know. Does Drake and the Drake and Game have like some good song together or something? I don't know.
Yeah, they do. 100. All I ever ask is don't come to that studio with my that face shit. Like keep it 100. It's called Keep It 100.
Yeah.
All I ever ask is you keep it 8 more than 92 with me 100. Huh? It came out a minute ago.
Whose album was it on?
It's his or I think it was on Game's album because it's Game's song. Drake's on the hook.
Okay.
Yeah.
But even that, and that's the same shit with the Prince Charming effect. I noticed that there'll be artists who they'll have one song from Drake. It won't even be a verse. It'll be a hook from Drake like in 2008, and they'd be ride or die for Drake.
Yeah. That's stupid, bro. I think, and honestly, I feel like so Game is, I don't know what's Game's going on because he's throwing shots at Rick Ross or whatever he's trying to do. His dumb ass he's smart not to go at Kendrick Lamar. He ain't say nothing about Kendrick Lamar. No, he's like, who am I gonna go after? This nigga. Goes after Rick Ross. And I want to say something about Rick Ross, bro. Rick Ross really shouldn't have implanted it. So I honestly hate that song that he did. Is horrible to me, bro. I'm mad that he implanted himself into it. The champagne.
I just like
so ass, bro. And some people was really trying to say. Some people was trying to say that shit was better than some of the shit Kendrick Lamar did. I'm like, are you stupid, bro? That shit was horrible. Like,
okay, and then when you see stuff like that, those are clearly like the anti-Kendrick, I'm a super Drake fan people, because that is insane. But the only part of the Rick Ross thing I like it when is at the end when he says like, if there's problems, when you see me, then check me. I thought
yeah. But otherwise, the song is like the song just fades away so fast because it's not. Yeah, he tried to interject himself. I'm like, all right, whatever. I could tell he just really probably don't like Drake neither, and was trying to just insert himself. But also, he's trying to he's marketing himself because every time you see him on Instagram, this is him. Yeah, BBL Drizzy, and then after he shows a bottle of Bel Air.
The funny thing is, I don't know if him and 50 Cent still beef with each other, but they have very similar mindsets with how they like. Because 50 Cent also uses any opportunity, every problem he has with someone as an opportunity to promote his product or film or whatever he does. So they have similar.
Yeah. 50 Cent. 50 Cent is siding with Drake too for some reason. I have no idea.
You did? What he
that
say?
One I'm confused about.
I'm not too.
It just seemed like he's like, because remember, I think.
But then it's weird because Kendrick
I think Drake dropped him. He's like, I told y'all not to. But yeah, he was on the show, but it seemed like he was. It seemed like 50 Cent was a little more biased for Drake. You know what I'm saying? Because every time Drake dropped, he's like, "Oh, I told y'all not to mess with that light skinned nigga." You know what I'm saying? He coming for y'all boys, man. It could have been trolling, but it just seemed like he was more biased for Drake. And I mean, I don't know why, but. We got Kanye inserting himself. I mean, we know that Kanye, and Drake kind of his arch nemesis.
Into everything. Kanye West inserts himself into every fucking thing. Kanye West will insert himself into a elementary school graduation if he could to prove a point. But this thing, even that, Kanye, him too. He put out some track. I forgot. I think he remixed
that shit was ass.
Like That.
It was the remix to Like That. It was ass, bro.
Was terrible. That shit was like, nigga.
Like, bro.
And then he tried to make up some lie about like that Metro and Future called him and told him to come do it. It was like, nigga, they did not tell you to do that shit. And yeah. So Kanye, he another one who's trying to, man, I know them. We gonna talk about them in another thing, but because even with them, which is so disappointing, the success they had coming off of this Vulture is one thing, and they were supposed to drop Vultures 2, 3, 4, and just nothing. They ain't doing shit now. So it's like,
yeah, what happened to Vultures 2? I think I'm starting to think they stopped. I feel like they didn't drop anything because of the beef. It was probably gonna get overshadowed by the beef, or just they just don't have. They wasn't.
Trust me. Don't let Kanye West and his foolishness fool you, bro. Trust me.
Somebody said
Kanye West.
I heard someone. No one brought you up. GameStop. Called GameStop.
Who's GameStop? Oh, Game.
Yeah, bro. Game. Yeah. Saying no one brought him up. Why you inserting yourself?
Yeah. Those were the ones.
They let Kendrick Lamar literally be the poster boy for this.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean? What do you mean they let Kendrick Lamar be the poster boy?
No, I mean they. I said just let him be the poster boy of taking down Drake because nobody else. And I don't think anybody else was equipped. Even and honestly, people say that Pusha T won the beef. The last one, I honestly don't think Pusha T won that beef. Like when it comes to music wise,
I don't think he won.
Everybody says honestly, Pusha T won.
I don't feel like nobody won because I don't know. Because to me, because Drake didn't even come at Pusha the way he came at Kendrick here, even in the early days of this beef. It was like last week. But even in the early days of this beef, I don't think Drake was even coming he came at Kendrick harder than he came at Pusha. And again, which we're going to go into what I was going to say next, which is kind of what you were saying, how there are people in this thing that are choosing who they going to respond to, who they going to say something about, and who they not. Because Drake has yet to mention Future, and Future spearheaded this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
One thing about Future. He's clearly scared of Future because he ain't saying nothing. He ain't even dropping a side diss about Future. So,
that's what I wanted to say. Right. So Pusha fake one off the strap. Yeah,
that is true.
I feel like that it counts, but now that was just like a real life move, bro. That's some real life shit. Like this man outed that he had a kid. That's just. I wouldn't even insert that into on a point deficit on the beef, to be real. Just like you said, like they just said a whole bunch of stuff in this recent beef with Drake and Kendrick that a lot of it is just they was just talking shit, like on some I hate you type shit. That Pusha T stuff, that was like real drama and real life stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where damn, this man just outed that I had a kid. I don't even know where did that beef even start. Oh, I think he brought up Pusha T's wife or something like that.
I don't remember how it started. No, remember because I think Drake and because remember Pusha T don't like Birdman. I think well not Birdman. Somebody on also on that camp Pusha T disrespects and Drake somehow got into it. But I remember as far as the kid thing, back when Kanye West was making that album that he has called I'm bipolar, or the cover says the album's called Yay, but the cover says I'm bipolar and I love it, or I hate some shit. And remember at that time, Kanye West and all of them, he in that same month he dropped the album with that his album. He dropped the album that he produced for Nas, and he dropped the album Kids See Ghosts with Kid Cudi. During that time period, they were all in Hawaii recording music, and Kanye West has, if you know how he does music, he has a long history of like flying people in to do stuff, and he might use your stuff or he might not. One of the people he flew in at that time was Drake. And when Drake was somewhere along in this recording process with Drake, for some reason, confided in Kanye West, like, oh, yeah, I have a kid and I don't know what to do or how to bring it out to the world. And I don't really know, you know what I'm saying? And Kanye West went, and from what I understand, soon after Drake left the studio, immediately went to Pusha T, like, yo, this nigga has a kid. And that's how Pusha T was able to you. And from what I understand as well, remember at that time also Kanye West produced Pusha T's album, that one with that came out with had the Whitney Houston's bathroom that she died in on the cover. And And Pusha T asked Kanye West, "Can I use the information that you gave me?" And Kanye West said, "Yeah, I don't care. Like, do whatever you want. That nigga ain't my nigga." And so he did. And obviously from then, and I want to say this, and believe it or not, this is in defense of Drake and his whole kid. And I want to make everyone who knows me or see me on Instagram knows I don't give a crap about Drake's monogamous, racially ambiguous child. I don't even know what that child is. But I don't think whether you Drake or wherever you are, it is nobody's business whether you have a child or not. You don't need to tell nobody.
Yeah.
And being famous and being a rapper, and let me tell people, if you think Drake is the only rapper out here that got kid or kids that he's not telling the world about, you are sadly mistaken. All right. So
that's true.
Even when Pusha T was using that against Drake, I was like, that's kind of lame because Drake don't owe it to nobody to tell nobody about his kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As long as he's raising that little nigga and like, you know, doing whatever, even if he's not raising him, if he's supporting him, that's his business. He didn't owe it to the world to tell nobody that he had a kid. But it shows you Jake's character that as soon as that happened, that is when he suddenly became super comfortable showing this child on Instagram and taking pictures with the child and the mom. And it shouldn't take another rapper putting you out as a father for you to want to be proud to be a father. I don't understand how that operated in his head. But yeah, I think this whole angle about him and the kid, I think that shit needs to die because it's like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like that, I don't think that should be a thing that's used against him in any of these beefs. Let me ask you real quick. The Kendrick wife beater stuff. Anybody believe in that? How you think?
Nah, I don't believe that one bit. Yeah, I seen they had a whole interview with the person a long time ago, which it was archived. That's another reason why, I guess it was archived and it just got brought back up. I don't know how it got brought back up. Maybe the person re-released it or whatever. But they said this on some old podcast back in, I guess, 2013, 2014. I forgot what year. And they're saying that TDE or whoever came and just wiped it off the map, which I don't care what anybody. People can have as much conspiracies as they want. Stuff like that isn't just gonna get wiped clean off of the map to where
it can.
It's not gonna have traces. I feel like it depends. Like something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like there will be some traces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This one, that's the only trace that they have is this person's account, and that Kendrick Lamar was at the hotel where they said it happened.
And they're saying that Kendrick,
but
at
for
that
somebody's face to be bloodied like that,
be his own wife.
They saying he beat his wife, or they said a female. They didn't necessarily say his wife. They said a female, which everybody's, I guess, speculating that it's his wife that was there, and he beat her up, and like her face was bloody and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I'm like, there would be just a little more accounts than one person's account. We're going off of one person's word.
This shit weird to me because that whole thing is weird to me because one, let me tell you something. I'm not even even if I think I was angry to the core, I couldn't beat a woman in her face till she was bloody. You know what I'm saying? He is wicked or whatever you want to say about Drake. I don't even think Drake would beat a woman in her face till she was bleeding.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely, if I wouldn't do it and Drake wouldn't do it, I definitely don't see Kendrick Lamar doing it. So that's why I'm like, that one I'm not really believing.
And he went on Breakfast Club, obviously, and denied it and said it was like BS claims. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I feel like there would be way more accounts.
Right. And like Rachel was saying here, which I'm happy she said, I believe they fought maybe like a bad toxic fight. And yes, I 100% agree with you on that. If there's any truth to this, because make no mistake, Kendrick and his wife, they obviously have gone through a lot. And again, if you listen to his most recent mature adult album, Mr. Morale, he talks about this. He mentions on several tracks throughout the album. There's a track on the album where a man and a woman are literally in a domestic fight, which I think is supposed to kind of represent him and his wife to some extent, and other black couples. But even on that album, he talks about how him and what was her name, Whitney or something like that, how much problems they went through.
Yeah, Whitney.
He talks about, there's a song on that album where he mentions the first time he had sex with a white girl was on the tour for Good Kid, Mad City. Clearly there's pictures of him with his wife from when they were in high school. So clearly they were together when he came up.
Yeah.
So clearly he's cheated. Clearly she's caught him. Clearly, he's had a lot of issues, even trying to be a father originally with his daughter and stuff. So yes, I think it's possible they maybe got into some toxic fight. Maybe they were physical with each other to some extent, throwing each other around. Maybe he even hit her to some extent. Not saying that's correct or excusing that behavior, but I think that is a whole different narrative than Kendrick Lamar beats his wife. That's that's crazy.
Yeah.
But with that being said,
I ain't gonna lie though, what Drake said on the last track, his last I think it was the last bar where he's like,
what?
"Hey Whitney, hit me." Where he's like, "Hey Whitney, hit me." When I say I'm gonna hit you back, it's not gonna hurt as much.
Yeah.
that was hard. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, then you see shit like that, it's like you just like it's like you trolling, like you like
yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was good. It was a good one. Remember Drake said they're not married yet, and he threw it in her face. Yeah, maybe they're not actually. I know he like refers to her. They're like in a wife kind of relationship.
Oh yeah.
Wife kind of thing.
Apparently,
maybe they're not literally married.
They're just fiance. Yeah. He's there. She's his fiance or whatever, or however that works. I forgot. They're still fiancés
at this point. They're obviously
engaged. Sorry, engaged.
And even with that, he's obviously one of the kind of black guys who has, struggles with commitment and stuff like that. And he's probably scared of marriage. I remember him kind of talking about it a little bit on that album too. But interestingly enough, what I want to circling back to talking about the accusations that Drake was throwing. One of the ones that I think is pretty interesting and that I think might even be true is the whole Dave Free, because with PG Lang, his homeboy Dave Free runs PG Lang with him, and Drake is accusing that one of Kendrick's children might be Dave Free's child, not Kendrick's. Yes. Now this is interesting to me because prior to this beef, right? I think maybe because you remember Drake has a line in one of the beef songs where he says every one of your wife's posts, it looks like she's crying out for like help or something like you know what I'm saying? And I remember a couple weeks ago, and I don't even know why I did this. It was like random, or something came up about Kendrick and his wife. And immediately I was like, I think maybe I was on Reddit or something, and someone mentioned her. Oh, yes. Someone mentioned that since the beef with Drake started, she had to hide her, block her comments because a bunch of Drake fans was trolling her comments. Yeah. So I went to her Instagram because I want to see what people were saying. And on her Instagram was the first time I really saw pictures of the children, of her and the children.
Yeah.
And I know on the cover of Mr. Morale, but the boy's obviously kind of like covered up by the mom, and Kendrick has the girl in her hand, but you still can't really like see her face. Now on Whitney's page, right? I remember this was before any Drake accused anything. I'm just on the page lurking just to see the drama. And I'm looking at the pictures of the kids. And I look at the little girl, and I'm like, oh, the little girl, she kind of looked like the split image of Kendrick. I don't know if you know what she looks like, but she kind of like got his face on her face.
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah.
Now that boy. I don't know about that boy, because that boy don't look like Kendrick or the mom to me. Yeah. So I'm looking at the kid, and like I said, even before Drake said any of this, I'm looking at that boy, and I'm like, oh, no. Kendrick seemed like a nigga who got them strong genes, because look at that little girl. That little girl clearly looked like he spit her out. This boy, he don't even have the same head shape as Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I know not everybody looks like they parent necessarily, but I feel like to an extent, everyone I know, especially as they get kind of older, they look kind of like you can see their parents in them, and you can see if they have kids, you can see their kids. Like your kids, I could look at each one of your kids' faces and see either you or Rachel. You get what I'm saying? I'm looking at this Kendrick's son, and I'm like, I don't know, bro. I'm like, and then to flash forward to Drake on the songs talking about they might be Dave's kids. I was like, damn.
That would suck. I was thinking like that. I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I don't know. Somebody like Kendrick who decides to go all out against Drake, I feel like your whole situation has to be solid. Like, because like if I'm doing it, I'm like, yo, I gotta make sure all ends are like clipped. Like this nigga cannot get anything on me, bro. So just knowing that he went so hard at Drake, I feel like that's hard to believe. But you're right. I did look at that his son, and I was thinking about it the other day when I seen the picture. I'm like, yeah, he don't look like Kendrick. I can understand Drake's angle on that one. He don't look like Kendrick.
Yeah.
He don't. Yeah, and you're right. He don't look like the mom neither.
Don't like the mom either. Because I was even when I saw the kid, I was thinking maybe they adopted him, but they're just not like saying that, which is fine too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, maybe they adopted it and he just, claiming him as his son. But if it is a situation where that is true, I think Kendrick knows, and he's probably because I feel like even though we have to remember celebrities and rappers, singers, actors, whoever, they have whole lives. They don't show us and tell us every single part of their life, bro. And he's made it clear on his albums that him and Whitney have had problems and that he's got caught cheating. So it wouldn't shock me if maybe there's a period of time where him and her weren't exactly stable, and maybe she ran into the arms of Dave Free. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And that you gotta remember, like, look at Janae Aiko. Janae Aiko used to date the producer Dr. Genius, and she now dates Big Sean. You know who's the connection between them? Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi's the connection between Big Sean, Janae Aiko, and Dr. Genius. Dr. Genius is Kid Cudi's producer, and clearly Kid Cudi and Big Sean were on good music, and they were good friends. Well, at the time, close. So around that time is when Janae Aiko met Big Sean, and it was a big thing how she straight up left. She left Dr. Genius and jumped on to Big Sean. I don't think these things are that crazy. You know what I mean? And maybe Whitney for a time was with Dave and got pregnant, and Kendrick maybe knows and was like, "Well, we're gonna be a family. I'm still going." You know what I mean? You don't.
Yeah. It maybe at most, I wouldn't think Dave Free, but maybe Drake is onto something like that. May not be Kendrick, it may be somebody else's baby. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's possible. It's there's a possibility. And Kendrick's like, you know what? I did all this dirt. Let me, some Bob Marley shit. Like, that's my son now.
Okay, exactly. All right. Two last two things, because I don't want to go more than another 10. Last two things we're going to touch on real quick, and then for a little bit we'll talk about the stuff with you and Rachel. So Drake's bodyguard shot. We don't know. I guess he's in stable condition now. Fine. Do you think Kendrick had maybe not Kendrick himself, but do you think anything affiliated with Kendrick has something to do with this?
Nah, I don't think it got anything to do with Kendrick. People are speculating it has something to do with The Weeknd and his crew, because somebody on The Weeknd's crew got somebody's manager or a security, they got shot, and now they trading shots, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is. So I don't know. They must have brought, like I said, I put on Twitter, I was like, yo, the Drake finally graduated to a hood nigga. Congratulations. Well, he's been longing to be.
I guess so.
He's a hood nigga now. So yeah, they're speculating that it has something to do with The Weeknd and his crew. So it's like OVO versus XO now.
Okay, so I guess XO gangster too. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So me too.
Yeah,
the trenches agree on that. And they in the trenches. I'm telling you, these niggas hanging out with Future and them niggas too much.
Yeah.
And then so next up, because I agree, I don't think Kendrick had anything directly to do with that at all. I think it's just like it's gonna be a rough summer for Drake. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a rough summer for Drake.
Yeah.
Next we have label involvement. Real quick, label involvement. So I saw on Reddit someone posted both sides that like someone that represented Kendrick's side had posted like one of Kendrick's like ARs or something, that from the time when the original when that dropped, they've been trying to like send things to tell them like, oh, chill, let's try to squash the beef, blah blah blah. Do you think, and a lot of people do you think labels should be getting involved in rap beef? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think a label should have anything to say, or and let's keep in mind these people kind of do belong to the label. So
yeah. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if everybody at Universal is talking to Drake or speaking like, hey, let's go ahead and stop this, squash it. Don't respond. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Trying to get him not to. I would believe that, because especially when they seen that the public opinion was kind of going towards Kendrick, like the majority of the public, they're like, you know what I'm saying? Let's because you know how much money money they have in Drake right now, bro. He's a entity, a corporation right now. Like, yeah, they can't. If that ship sinks, a bunch of billionaires and millionaires is gonna sink with them. You know what I'm saying? So they're probably like, hey, please, yeah, like, I don't care if these accusations are true or not. Just get out of this alive.
which leads me to my perfect segue into my last question. One, do you think they should squash the beef? And if they do you think this like Drake should be the one to just be like, yo, my career is more important than this shit and my popularity. I don't want to sacrifice anymore.
I feel like at this point, I feel like they should just kill it, like nothing else about it. But I honestly don't know how Drake will recover from this. It's gonna be very hard. It's gonna be hard for him to recover. Like, so he can't come out in for his career. He can't come out and say like, "Hey, let's squash this. I'm sorry," or whatever. He can't, or whatever that is. He can't. It's gonna make his career. It's gonna make it even worse for him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how he can recover, how he can gain the public opinion, how he can gain the mass again. I don't even know where he can go with this. That's why I think he's gonna get Ja Ruled out of it.
There I disagree. I don't think he's gonna get Ja Ruled. That's extreme.
You don't think he's gonna get Ja Ruled?
I do think nah. Ja Rule got fucking steamrolled. You gotta remember, like his shit was like his shit was just
it just went directly down.
Yeah, and to this day, 50 Cent's taking shots. So it's like that should, it don't end. But I do think like what I don't think he should apologize, or I don't think he should publicly squash it or nothing. I think he should just stop like responding, just let it die, because the song is eventually gonna die. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna die. That's it. I don't know how long, but it's gonna die. And I think if Drake just at this point is like, I mean, because that's the thing. People are saying now the ball is in Kendrick's court because Drake technically put out the last diss track.
Yeah, if you want to count that diss track, and I think he should be done.
Yeah,
I don't think it's in his court no more. The game's over. Shit ain't going to overtime.
Someone hit up. Someone hit up somebody from Kendrick's camp on Twitter and was like, "Yo, so what's up? Is Kendrick's turn? Is he done? Is it because obviously Drake shit was whack, but is he done?" And the nigga tweeted this, and this is someone who is like closely affiliated with Kendrick and has kind of previewed the other song that came out, and he was like, "Niggas from Compton don't never let you get the last word." So basically, Kendrick's team is saying like, they saying as long as Drake puts something out, which we've seen proof of, as long as Drake puts something out, Kendrick is going to respond in some way. Because I thought he wasn't going to respond to that whole push-up shit. I thought he wasn't going to say nothing. And then like that day came. So I was like, oh, so he really wants to participate in this. And he's saying Drake's name and all. On the Drake song, does he say Kendrick? Does he ever say Kendrick's name? He does? He says Kendrick?
I think he does say Kendrick, or he says Dot, or you know what I'm saying. He makes it known that he's talking directly to Kendrick. You know what I'm saying. Okay. But yeah, I think what Kendrick team is gonna do with this, they're gonna milk the hell out of this song. Not like us. They're gonna
make a video.
They're gonna have people do the Instagram videos like they're doing. And all that, like and before they even think about dropping another record, you know what I'm saying? Because remember I feel like that last word could be a music video to They Not Like Us that goes crazy and gets dumb views on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That could be the next response. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I think that if Kenny responds next, that should be it, and then he's done. Especially if Drake don't do nothing else, just leave it. You know what I'm saying? Like make a hard ass video, get everybody from Cali to come out and dance to the song, get all the niggas that don't like him to make cameos in the video. That's it. That's nailing the coffin on Drake, bro. I don't care what nobody want to say. He's losing this battle. That last song proves he don't got no juice, and he's not prepared. He's not even prepared to get into this with Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? So so you got anything else to say on the topic? I don't want to cut you.
No, we good. We good. We touched pretty much everything.
So let me real quick. We still got some people in the room. Hopefully Rachel's still here. Maybe if she could still put in some 2 cents too. But bro, what is going on? So yesterday I seen on the net. We've obviously spoken about the whole, the breast milk thing countless times on this. We've seen the videos, the show, everything. What's going on now? Because I was on Neighborhood Talk or whatever they call their little blog yesterday, and I seen a very, very misleading, controversial article about you and Rachel, and I was just like, bro, did they say this? Did they say this? And I know y'all got a YouTube. Yeah, thank you. I was trying to find it.
Yeah.
And I know y'all. Did you upload? I didn't watch it yet, but did you upload the YouTube video of y'all talking about it yet?
Yeah. We spoke about it. On YouTube, and pretty much I'm pretty sure like a few different pages. I'm surprised that they caught on to this because of the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. I thought that was
wait, what I got
to take over everything. But to see them go,
you thought they still see? Okay.
I'm like, you know how the public is just, yeah. I thought it was over. You know what I'm saying? So, a couple of weeks ago, Rachel and I was on the phone with just a reporter, and
did you guys speak directly to them?
And
you spoke to her? Did y'all speak directly to that girl, the girl who wrote the article, or no?
Whoever wrote an actual article, but not the neighborhood talk. We didn't speak to them. They took words from the article and did whatever they did, made a post from it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So they like to word things for a lot of views and whatever. But I was surprised. We spoke to the reporter, and I told Rachel like, I don't think really nothing's gonna come out of this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was interested in what we've been up to, and we let her know everything, and we said something of the fact that she asked, so what's going on in the future? You guys like considering having another child or whatever? And he's like, we considered having another child, but we said it in a way like any other married couple would consider having another child. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just we consider. You have to really consider. You have to do your pros and cons. You got to consider. And but we was like, nah, we don't think we want to have any other children. And they took that and flew with it. Not even ran with it. They flew with it. So, hey, I guess that's just what they do. That's just how it goes.
But aren't they're trying to say that you guys want to have another child, that you're trying to have another child, is what the articles.
They made it. They made it seem like that. But if you actually read the actual article, it's a little more closer to what me and Rachel said. You know what I'm saying?
We're saying right.
Yeah. It's a lot more closer to that. So the post on Neighborhood Talk took it to like, they was like, all right, let's spin this and let's take it to, you know what I'm saying? So they took it to another level. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the blogs that are posted on the internet, they are doing it as well. But if you actually read the article, you know what I'm saying? It's closer to what me and Rachel actually said.
Got you. Yeah, that I was reading. I was like, yo, I was like, damn, I just seen him a couple weeks ago. They wasn't talking about no fourth kid, but okay.
Yeah. But you know what? That like Leger said, that's how these logic blogs operate. Terrible journalists, they steal content and create narratives. I could tell you what, they are really good for spinning that narrative and making it hit like that. That was like really good, because sometimes I could see this. I could be like, okay, this is gonna pop because of this, or you say this is gonna pop. Right. I didn't see it. I didn't see, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see the vision. They seen it. They had it. So I was like, I didn't see the vision. They seen it. When I didn't see the vision. When I seen the blog post, I was like, oh, these motherfuckers.
You're like, yeah, they did that.
You're good.
They did that.
Y'all did that.
I had family calling me.
So I didn't see the vision.
That's crazy. Yes, I had family calling me worried. I was so confused. Yeah, man, that shows you what the media will do. The media will straight up, even your own family will be like. I remember who got I forgot who it was. Some rapper the other day got accused of, I think, or it was like one I remember back in the day. You remember? I mean, we're not gonna get too much into this, but you know who Brian Pumper is? You know who Brian Pumper is.
Yeah. Brian Pumper, yeah, for sure.
Back in the day, niggas used to say,
I said that way too confident.
Yeah. I said that
way too confident.
you messed it up, man. I tried to give you a little.
You have any idea who this guy Brian Pumper is? Y'all know exactly who that motherfucker is.
Yes, I'm very familiar. Like you just.
Oh my god!
I thought you was gonna be like.
Let me say the reason. The reason I do remember is because he always looked like Lloyd Banks to me. That's the reason why I mainly remember Brian Pumper. Oh my god!
Which is what I was gonna say. I remember even Lloyd Banks talking about back in the day, like when G Unit was kind of at his rise, and Brian Pumper was doing his thing. Lloyd Banks had family members calling him like, "Yo, you're doing that, you're doing adult," and he's like, "That's not me, nigga." Like, yeah, like, and people kept confusing at the time Lloyd Banks with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they probably was pushing that heavy.
Yeah. So Lloyd Banks was saying, he was like, "Man, my own family, my own grandma called me and was on some like, bro, you don't need to do that." But and I'm like, "Grandma, it's not me. I am not this man. Like, this is a whole different dude."
Yeah. So a lot of people seeing the post even before we seen it. I had people calling. It was like, yo, boom, 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 and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had no idea what they were talking. Yeah, I had no idea what they were talking about. I've seen it. I'm like, oh damn. I was really like surprised because, like I said, I did not see these words going anywhere. Like, I was like, yo, I don't even know if she's gonna even write this article because like there's nothing there. We weren't, you know what I'm saying? So hey, she had something
article
in her mind when she seen it.
So when you say she, are you referring to the Neighborhood Talk girl or the girl?
Oh, the journalist. How it works is, you speak with the journalist, and because they just want to check up on you, see, and then the journalist kind of just puts out an article, and then these other people take the article and I guess they write more on it or add stuff, include stuff, and whatever it is. But yeah, like I said, I didn't see the vision when she spoke to us. So apparently she had the vision.
Yeah. Looks like we're gonna be hearing a lot more about this because like I said, you guys I was looking through them comments yesterday, and you guys got people riled up again. I'm
sorry, everybody.
Yeah, people,
got people blood pressure.
Don't like the idea of I guess it's very disturbing to see a grown man mouth on his own wife's titty. I don't know what's the big shock about that, but hey. So yeah, bro, we're gonna keep up with it.
Getting shocked twice is crazy to me, but I guess it happens.
People are literally shocked twice. Like, still doing this?
Oh god.
Like, yo. But yeah, shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat. This live was a little long, so we're gonna dip. It's a little late, but we will try to be back. At least once a month because we got a lot of stuff going on. But there's going to be a lot of uploads this week, a couple of reviews.
Facts.
Maybe a Crumble review. I know y'all seen the Crumble review, the tour reviews. Those are going to keep going up.
Crumble is a dope review.
Yeah. My stomach has been in knots, man. I've been eating Crumble diet has been killing me. But been freaking killing me. But yeah, so shout out everybody that was in the chat. And again, we're going to try to be back next week. You got anything else you want to say? You want to holler out? Shout?
No, I'm good. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Catch us next time. We out.